happy for the government economy. But when we kill people, it's not happening and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people from the government came and said, "Sanctify people, don't know what you're saying, give me 1% of what go in law." But they said that over there is what their family people because they need work. They are the person that need work and they are the person sanctify people say they want it. We implore our family people, but some people are happy because it is a time to be happy. It is nobody time when the country is not better. It is everybody time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Where we will come here and say, you people will have to appoint a commissioner for sacrifice. The Bolosagales, they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern your people. They are people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person with every people that they can achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million and break out of marketeers, people runners, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there. But everything is long before carrying the benefit up. Because we are close.
Tell yourself, Boga, to forget about Yaka Koluba. What is Boga to Yaka Koluba? If you tell Yaka Koluba, tell Yaka Koluba, you are not letting you talk. You forsake yourself, Yaka Koluba, what are Yaka Koluba, passing for you? You are telling a lot of Yaka Koluba. Tell them, man, and you know who they say about Yaka Koluba for that, and I'm going to work for Yaka Koluba there. You know, when I go to Dualanda, you move your hour and work for God, just to take the ball for Yaka Koluba. You love to hear you go for Yaka? Yes. For who, Bene? Because Yaka Koluba and the one that is coming for you was. So you are telling to this Yaka Koluba because a budget. Oh, Yaka can be talking to the president. It's not a good thing. Anything good for Obama, good for Joe. Yes. They're happy. Saying that you, my mother, your mama, happy for you. When you are not going to betray Yaka Koluba or betray the Nigerian people and lie to them, Yaka Koluba are not coming crossing. You understand? You understand? You understand? Yaka Koluba. You go work for Yaka Koluba there. It's not going to lie. You go for Yaka? Yes, yes, yes. They don't tell us to tell Yaka Koluba for that. We don't want to tell Yaka Koluba for that. We don't want you. They see that you for that for Yaka Koluba. They don't for that for Yaka Koluba. Anything good for power, good for them. Tell yourself, Yaka, the way you not to tell the country, they corrupt. You say you're going to talk corruption for the country. Now you're calling them more corrupt for me. People die every day. You said the president's problem is the most corrupt for me. No, I said it, I'm coming down. So I will shut you. You shut me, then forget for Yaka Koluba. I'm for Yaka Koluba, you're not talking to you. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Now I want to look at my day, then we send you down Yaka Koluba. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Anything I do for me, I do for the other person. Then you do Yaka Koluba. Who the hell are they? Who know you? Our sister will go take Yaka Koluba from them. Now you know what. They are not doing Yaka Koluba in our house. Okay. All right, we're coming to anything you want to say for now before we leave you. Thank you so much. They must forget that Yaka Koluba because they know what's the one they only so much goal I start one goal. So why go play start one goal? We want they because of America. Now ever got from you not see no more protesting with
He said I'm joining to how get bring out to go Steve to the main store.
So the man wanted for you to go Steve on the web post.
Yeah. He said I'm joining to go Steve to the web main store to they get money to the store that will go take it from there. I said, my man, for the same lecture, before the man called me back. Now he said, my man, I election day and call you by. So I can go to work. I go to work.
You do for your work, you come to the man.
Yeah, I'm from.
When they were coming, they said they were free. When they were coming, they said they were liberated. But when they say
How you question me? The thing you want for me to explain, for you to understand, then still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk?
freedom fighter, you raping our freedom fighter, you killing our children.
He asked me, say, how many of y'all
Freedom
working
fighter,
today? I
you
said,
destroying our
we are three.
country.
So I said, I want you to give it to me. Yeah,
For you to drink
with bread.
the bread.
3 pieces of real bread. And when I carry it to the minute, say carry it to the minute. When you give it to the minute, then you come out to the car.
So the food they give you now, you carry that to go convince your friend.
Yeah. When I give it to the minute now, the minute say thank you. I say okay. The minute say what is going on? I say I'm going right car. So
when they were coming, they said they were liberated. But when they came their ground, they changed their mind. When they came their ground, they changed their mind. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they so?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Freedom fighter,
What a great day. What a wonderful opportunity it feels to be back behind these microphones, to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. It is an exciting Wednesday morning from the nation's capital in Monrovia. Just wherever you are this morning, what a pleasant way we'd like to welcome all of you to this intriguing edition of the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Morning Rse on Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. Pam, pam, pam. Oh yeah. When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. But when it became the time, distributing lies, inflating numbers, misrepresenting data, that's who they are. The people have gotten to know them. The mess is all over the place. Every sector, the crowds and complaint. Good morning to our friends, our fans, and our followers. Good morning to those of you in the diaspora. It's always a good thing to have you join us for breakfast on the most compelling debates, shaping the issues in the country. And of course, this morning there are too many things to talk about, lots of things on the plate. We are going to continue with the state of the president's State of the Nation's address. On yesterday, we stopped the read at page 6, so we are going to pick up today, hoping to do another six pages. So get prepared and listen to some of the issues. It's important. The president has delivered his report, and it is our business to translate and of course transmit these to the broader masses of our country. But in the meantime, we are going to look at the crash and the complaint from our folks, citizens. They have started coming out already, speaking, and of course calling on well-meaning Liberians to come in and engage. And as the fourth estate, it is important for us to place some attention on the situation there in the 72nd Barracks area. As we are told and have learned reliably that the action of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the Ministry of National Defense, is to an extent an overreach. Yes, there is no debate that the army has property in the area, but it is also a fact based on documents that we are receiving and claims that are being made that there are private property owners adjacent. And so the latest move by the Ministry of National Defense of the Republic of Liberia through the Armed Forces of Liberia seeks to ignore private ownership and lay claim to all of the places around there. And this has not gone down well. And citizens have already begun raising some concerns, making some pleas. And what do we think about that right here this morning? You know, the army, since it's restructuring, it's one of the security agencies in this country that have received a great deal of respect and admiration from the general Liberian public on the way she has carried herself and the way she has demonstrated respect for human rights. And I've always stood there with the citizens, providing some different services. So in this matter, it is important that we also engage the process, understanding that probably there is a creeping shift in pattern. And it's important that we speak to those, because guess what? The partners that are supporting the army are continue to stand by the army, are doing so because of the level of professionalism the army has demonstrated over the period. So we talk 72nd, and of course, those of you affected, you will have the opportunity to call in and speak your mind so that the war hears you out, the president hears you. What about this news about the vice president office procuring some luxurious vehicles for his folks and members in his office? I'm told about 6 pieces of high quality luxurious vehicles, thousands and thousands of dollars. The animal farm mentality. Animals with 2 legs are not good. Animals with 4 legs are good. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. On yesterday, we also the Alternative National Congress and its political leader offered its response to the president's Sona in a slight disagreement with what the government and the president communicated as a progress, challenging the views of the government on what she considered as transformation, job creation, and all of that, and presenting alternative solutions and all of that contained within Mr. Cummings' rebuttal. The Congress for Democratic Change was equally not sleeping. It came hard. Describing the president's Sona as a clever attempt to repolish programs and agenda and make them to appear like a new achievement, when in fact they are a representation of what they, the CDC, initiated and left, calling the government out for dishonesty in public communication and challenging the status of the state today.
They were coming, they said they were liberators.
Oh yeah, interesting.
They said they were liberators.
Papulu County Senator Amara Corner also joined the ranks
They changed their mind.
and offered his own perspective, where he described 2025 as a year of missed opportunities.
What kind of people is so? They are freedom fighters.
Too many. Ta Wong Bay of Nimba County
Are you killing our children?
and the ANC as well
Freedom fighter, you destroy our
said that, of course, the president's presentation contained factually untrue claims. So all of these have been popping up. My name is Abu Sharif, and of course, this is the big station, Freedom 87.9. And the shipping size of the conversation for you this morning to this Wednesday as well. For those of you playing the cash giveaway, *255 *1 hash, *255 *1 hash is the code, and you still have a chance to win prizes here this morning. You still have a chance. So since the sonar happened, we've seen, and of course, other government officials have started going around. Some government officials have started going around, making interpretation and explanations of some of the issues contained within the president's address, whether it is the justification for the job that the government said they created, the 70,000 job, and of course they claim about the GDP, they claim about the growth in the economy, right? The inflation numbers and all of that. But there is a primary fact that needs to be said about the inflation data, right? So the inflations are calculated per quarter, and there were 4 quarters during the year 2025, and I'm told it is the number reflecting the 4.4% inflation rate is for the last quarter. So I mean, honesty in public communication is important, but whenever the government try to make it like, and the government, people communicating for the government, saying, you see, we brought inflation, and then they will take CDC time number. CDC time was 10 point something, 10.5 or 10 point something, yeah, thereabout. So they will take that time, you see. We took inflation from 10 point days during CDC time, and we brought it to 4.4. But mind you now, in the course of 2025 alone, across the 4 quarters, there were periods where the inflation rate of the country reached as high as 12%, as high as 14%. You understand? Then you have 5.5%. Then it came down to 4.4, all of that. So these are, like, going up and down, and so yeah, the facts are actually there. So let me get it correct, because we got our men in the fast checker. We're gonna also be looking at some updates from the fast checkers too. I've been on their back trying to know from them where are we. So here is it. Here is it. Let me see from where I'm going to take from. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to take this from my man, Benedict Koluba. So Koluba says, the IMF inflation data misinterpreted in the Sona Himen. I have read a report from the IMF staff press release estimating Liberia's 2025 GDP growth at 5.1%. and the average inflation rate of 4.4% in the fourth quarter of 2025. So instead of finding the average, they took the fourth quarter's inflation data, and they used that and put in the president's speech and say that's where this is the height of dishonesty, and this is what we are holding the government bar. For those of you who be like, but this is basically, we just want our government to be responsible and speak the fact, just present the case to us, and that's it. So in the fourth quarter of 2025, as compared to 12.5 in the quarter, The central bank puts second quarter inflation at 10.6. Second quarter in 2025, the central bank report is 10.6%, and the third quarter at 5.9%, with an inflation of 12.5. So across the entire full quarter of 2025, the first quarter inflation was 12.5%, the second quarter 10.6%, the third quarter 5.9%, and the fourth quarter 4.4%. So that's how the government has been jogging between. So CDC, the inherited from CDC at 10.1. Inflation was at 10.1% when CDC left power. So in the first year, 2024, not the first year, I say, in 2025 now, the assessment of 2025, inflation grew to what? 12.5%. Right? And then in the second, it came down a little bit, 10.6%. Stay above the CDC one. In the third quarter, they managed to bring it down below the CDC one to 5.9 and maintain that trend in the fourth to 4.4 for the fourth quarters in 2025. The year-end average inflation for 2025 will be about, so then you do the average. The last time Honorable 12 was here with us, and he told us how economists make these these data determination across a whole array of data that they have to the conclusive analysis. You have to form averages, right? So you have to average the full quarter data, and then you get the annual average. So Benedict Koluba data, he said, the actual, if the Unity Party wants to report for 2025 in terms of inflation, the number is actually 8.4%. Inflation is at 8.4% 2025. But 4.4 is a representation of just the last quarter in 2025. It's important for us to know that. So yeah, this whole sonar thing is going to take almost the whole month for us to keep going into it, because the data needs to be broken down into pieces, look into them properly, and the experts are also doing the job. What is the legal component of it, the health component of it? People are looking at it and all of that. So it's important. It's good. So this is it. I'm going to take a break. We'll come stop on Liberia to set the stage. When we come back, we go ahead. But just before the break, let me use this time to recognize some of our followers, that are joining, and keep sharing the live. Drop your comments on each of the different conversations. I see a whole host of comments here already. Beginning with Emmanuel G. Davis. Good morning, following from Tusa Few. Emmanuel, Tusa Few. Okay, so Emmanuel is joining from Tusa Few in the Gartnersville area. And of course, you have Junior Sikwa. Good morning, Abu. I'm watching from a new community, Dixville. It's good to join you guys this morning for your brilliant and balanced analysis. Let God keep you guys safe all the times. Thanks a lot. Salia Lasana Kane is the next. Salia says, good morning. I'm following you from Brewerville City, Montserrado County, and this is Daniel Bondo. Daniel Bondo says, following from Bond County. Thanks a lot, Daniel, from where there in Central Liberia. Patricia Living Mars. Good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm watching from Dixville. Stephen Fowler Jr., good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm watching you from Gartnersville Chicken Soup Factory. Hey, Stephen Bauer. Hey, every time people mention Chicken Soup Factory, I just remember the road. For some reason, Chicken Soup Factory people are my people. I've always been here advocating for them, And but mind you, the day they finished that road, finally happened out of my consistent advocacy for them. They will not recognize that. But it's okay. All I want is the rule should just be done. And I think I've also called on the government's attention to the chicken soup factory market. It doesn't look presentable. And, some interventions need to be made. That place, densely populated area, counts hugely for the constituents in district number 12, right? So to speak, it counts hugely. So where you have the mass base of the people, social services has to be delivered and timely as well. So that's what we believe. Nelson Dunn, good morning. I'm watching live from Batnesville Estate. Thanks a lot. Sam Mayunwe, good morning, my Freedom FM family. I'm watching you guys from a pool corner at ELWA community. Thanks. Amara Jala Kamara. I'm following live on browsers. Thanks a lot, Amara Kamara. As always, Abraham Tanu Johnson. Good morning, Freedom FM. Watching live from Bar Bombing County. And this is Tala Bowie. I'm watching from Cowfield, Dupont Road. And of course, Abraham Boema, Mondon Satisfa Kiazolu. Good morning, my blessed Freedom FM family. I'm currently watching you from Grand Cape Mount County, to be precise, in Tiening Town, Tewar District. So this is it. Grand Cape Mount people, the CDC Legislative Caucus chair in Nathaniel Fallow Magiho had to take on a personal initiative on your behalf yesterday to advocate and said, look, the government's negotiation, the president's negotiation, to ignore the fact that the gold and mineral that B Mountain is taking out of this country is being mined out of Grand Cape County, so that if social services are being delivered like a sporting economy, Grand Cape deserves some. So he took his from a CDC senator. He took it from, he said, no, the class of the Cape Mountain needs to be elevated. He said, look, gentlemen, what are we hearing? Can you consider something for the people of Grand Cape County? This man will have said, oh, leader, and now the Unity Party they voted for, so leader. So no matter what, you're still endear to the CDC. The folks have demonstrated at times we're at number. And, they just few folks among you try to make it like, oh, came out that Unity Party county. How you take county and give it to party? Don't do that, right? All the parties should own the county. All the counties should have a space for all the parties. And that's how you benefit across. So you see the other advocacy. So Senator McGill later on posted that his appeals were granted. And of course, the management team there has assured him as a senator of this country that Grand Cape County will not be left behind. So Kemartina, you can clap for yourself. Your own economy too coming. Dana Bwaka bringing it, that B Mountain bringing it through Nathaniel McGill, CDC Legislative Caucus intervention. Oh, yeah, it's important to state that. So all the other multi-banks you hear talking later on, these are, follow the leader. So I needed to make that clear as well. Naomi Weir, I'm watching from Brewerville. Elijah Sipo, good morning, my Freedom FM family. I am following you from my Francis Johnson Avenue resident, New Georgia, Gardnersville. Abraham B. Falika Jr., good morning, Freedom FM, watching live from Ghana. Oh, Falika, thanks a lot from Ghana. Okay, yesterday, the Ghanaian foreign minister did something on social media, for those of you that are following. So, there is this Ghanaian fellow who goes around, he's a YouTuber as well, right? Wademeya. I don't know if you follow him. So he has been exposing the African reality through his platform, and he's been doing a very marvelous job and all of that. So the Ghanaian foreign minister posted that apparently he had a conversation with Wademeya previously, and the conversation was centered around Asho Speed. As a matter of fact, Asho Speed concluded his tour yesterday. I think in Namibia was the final, and he has expressed that it was a great experience and all of that, and we expect that to be. So at least Africa has demonstrated a whole new picture in the world, have seen clearly through the brilliance and ingenuity of a 21-year-old African descendant in Asho Speed, who is an American anyway. So the Ghanaian foreign minister announced immediately that based on the conversation and of course the information that Asho Speed could have an ancestral link to Ghana in his capacity as foreign minister of Ghana, he is thereby, right, declaring as of that moment. I will read verbatim. Let me just read verbatim. It's important, and there's a reason why I'm pausing to read this. You know, when I see anybody comment where you coming from and something about there, it's important, right? Yeah, this is an information basket. So when you come here, we'll cover you, and that's what people don't get, right? When you come here, we cover you. So this is what the foreign minister of Ghana, Samuel Okuzento Ablakwa, wrote. He said, Wadamaya, following our discussions and subsequent confirmation of the irrefutable ties of Asho Speed to Ghana, I am pleased to inform you and our compatriots that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has approved the issuance of a Ghanaian passport to Asho Speed. There is a moral lesson here. When you come to our part of the world, we are not even talking about people who, they are linked, but even people who are aborigines of the country that are making headways, and of course they're doing right. We're against them. We don't want them to be considered. We're angry that people want dual citizenship, our own citizens. The war has gone past that. Those of you with that your way 1970, 1960 hateful mentality of trying to, they want that citizen, they want that not citizen. The war definition of what citizenship is now is a whole lot different. And the war is identifying its people. And people that bring value and exposure to the country and the nation. That's what the war is going for. So you good for nothing, sitting somewhere in some kind of corner where Liberia said don't know you, and you think you are the justification of, the validator of citizenship. I mean, we have to go past that. The sake has to be refined and it has to be emancipated in ways that we're able to conform with the living reality. Asho Speed, accepting and embracing Ghanaian heritage and all of that. You know what it does? It sends a picture globally about Ghana. When you say Liberia, say no, how will make that man citizen in the country? So, gentlemen, friends, fellow Liberians, we have to change the mindset. If a Lebanese man have lived his life in Liberia forever, he has born his children here, he has integrated successfully. What's the problem in giving him a Liberian passport? And somebody will, oh no, don't do it. They have a value. We have a standard. But again, we can be so apprehensive to integration or, opening our arms to positive citizens of the world, positive global citizens who admire Liberia and want to be a contribution to Liberia. We must be open our arms to them. But if our own set people, then yes, we can be the number one to denigrate them. Mr. Weir. As soon as you go talk about football Benin, Mr. Weir, when you say Mr. Weir is the greatest African footballer ever to live, it can hurt even Liberian citizens. Liberians don't see that as a pride. They say, no, DJ Joba. No, I've already even asked them. I've already men would never prefer, somebody over them. They will be very reluctant based on the fight because it's overwhelming they will accept. When the whole world agreed that George Weah is the greatest, Liberian men will say no, that Samuel Eto'o. Liberian men will say no, that Mohamed Salah. Liberian men will say no, that Sadio Mane. And then somebody will say, a sport reporter posts on a page, say why people saying, George Weah must go, Asho Speed must go meet George Weah, blah blah for sport Benin. What in George Weah not contribute? And now sometimes I say, but what in your part contribute to Liberia? And then they say, oh, my man, you trying to be. But let's be frank. Let's be fair with people. You say John Weah, you say contribute to library and say, what in John Weah and contribute? Sport? Do you remember you a sport reporter is supposed to have a whole clue about the sector, especially in Liberia? He's supposed to have a whole knowledge. Then you say, oh, what in John Weah and contribute? Simply because in his mind, he say John Weah and be sport economy. Is that the only means to helping sport? Who is the athlete in the 90s, right? The 90s and early 2000, whether that coach, whether that player, whether that just any football related that travel all of this country that did not benefit from George Weah, support one way or the other. We don't know. They themselves have been confessing and saying it. Footballer from Liberia. Who? Show me one. Unless they try to be political. And you sit down here trying to be political and say, oh, what in George Weah not contribute? What in George Weah not contribute? So, Ronaldinho gets football academy in Brazil. Ronaldinho gets football academy. Who that football academy is the standard of determining an athlete's or a legend's contribution. That is the only thing that qualifies to say, oh yeah, that man is a legend. It should be. You see, sometimes the way we can anyway. Let me just hold the recognitions right here. Go for the break, come back, and then we talk politics. This is a political show, but I just thought to bring that in. So, what basically the message we're trying to bring home is that the war is opening up. The war is embracing people, Liberians. Let's try to identify. And, this is where the people were brought. This was where. So we should create we should open ourselves up where, the Black Americans see Liberia as home and consider coming to Liberia more. But you see, Ghana is opening up to the extent where all the men are going Ghana. And they are not just going Ghana, they are drawing serious tourist revenue to Ghana. We are struggling. Oh, they won't do tourism. We could use the fact that Liberia establishment is connected to the Black American community in America. Some of your ancestors were they were brought to Liberia, they came and settled here. You were displaced. Some of you, your parents, your great-grandparents were taken. Where were they brought? Liberia, you want to come. Let's create a national conversations around that and target the Black American community and present Liberia in a way where we're able to attract these people. Let them come to Liberia. Let them come to Liberia and places. Everybody just selfish. Everybody just self-centered. Nobody thinking about it. Other countries taking advantage of what Liberia is supposed to be at the forefront of. That yeah, it's supposed to be passing. You see, oh nigga, what's up, nigga, and stuff. But Ghana man was speaking that kind of English, British English. Ghana man speaking British English, but he attracting more American people to Ghana than Liberia was speaking American English. American people running away from Liberia. So can we sit down and think why is it happening that way? The first place, what other countries say you won't see American, just go to Liberia. What you can't see dumb over here. Please, we need to do better. This is 2026. I mean, we'll soon be going to 2029. So are we still going to be stuck right here in the same place? The same way the people were thinking in the 80s, the 1980s, the 1970s. Our grandparents were thinking that the same mentality we stay carrying. The same belief they held, that the same belief we have, our education have not helped us to evaluating those beliefs and making informed decisions and judgment on those things. We have maintained it in spite of our education and exposure. The same way the old people used to think in the 70s, that is the same way a typical young Liberian man is thinking today. So what has changed? Where is the change? Allergic to change completely. As soon as the man go Harvard and finish learning, or a boy and come back and go in that village and come back. Oh no, the man who brings sport. He can't think globally anymore. He can't think differently anymore. mediocre, unproductive, unprogressive, absolutely backward, absolutely small-minded. That's exactly what it becomes. Look at the president. Look at the president. But anyway, Crime Stopper Liberia, and of course, these conversations will keep having them until maybe one fine day things will change, and of course, we all will be proud about our own little contribution and little effort to making the change. This break, we'll be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you will report it. Don't take law in your hand for the real authority. That they can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human talking, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must part to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us.
My people, where you at? Wake up when you stomach, stop slipping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. My hope that I have them broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can knock the corrupt and with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote you. For you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Okay, folks, let me bring this one down. This is the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. Just wherever you're joining us from, welcome to it right here on the People's Radio Freedom 87.9. And yes, indeed. So we had to take that break with Takun J, sensational Liberian musical artist. And of course, it's important to do that right here on the big station. So yeah, folks. So the fast checkers have already fast checked some key component of the president's sonar and claims. So we have gotten a report, and we fast check report on two of the most important, if not significant, claims made in the president's sonar, especially on the issues of job creation and rural rural construction. So the president claimed that his administration has taken Liberian rural network, the percentage of rural network pavement to 20%. The fast checker had to go to do fast check on that. The result is here. I have it right here in my possession. So you got to listen. So most times when we, the journalists, say these things, is based on contact. We talk to people who are on, in the areas and stuff. And when we cannot lay our hands on any verifiable, and even on the social media, I insisted, even the propaganda, some of our friends, I would tell them that, look, gentlemen, don't make this thing like somebody saying, oh, it's not possible. But look, it can't just be possible from the blue. What we are saying, give us verifiable sources. Where did you get this from? How did you manage to get this number? Where? Right? Since we can see it with our naked eyes, but maybe you have the data. It has to be credible enough, right? Especially on the debate of the growth rate at 5 point something. So, mind you, before and after the sonar, immediately there were no authentic source to validate the 5.1%, and that was our point of doubt. We checked the CBL, we did not see it. IMF, we did not see it. So on yesterday, IMF issued an update which confirmed it. So we are good with that, right? So it came after. So apparently after, but the assessment that was done in November, December, right, did not reflect 5.1. So we were right. I say, oh, because you can't get it from the blue. So that is that. Then on the road, the fast checker have also reviewed. I've been on my man about, man, why are you taking so long to fast check the other one? And, so sometimes people will not understand people like us. Will go for you because my goal is to get what I won't get. So I'll go for you. I put you on, and then you won't come outside. And so finally, the guys are out. They also fast check the I think they have to go back on a fast check with the inflation thing. I will speak to a few people. They need to go back on the fast check on the inflation thing because what we're hearing. Maybe they need to speak to the government too to understand whether the representation the government was making in the SONA was for the annual inflation average. If the government say yes, then that means they have to fast check it. That means it's incorrect. But if the government admits that it is they were only presenting the fourth quarter, inflation, then that means that number is accurate. We like to be fair. Look, our desire is not to come and paint a picture that does not exist. No, we will not do that. We'll tell you the fact. But some of you who want us to see the fact, we leave it, we come, we just be praising, we will not do it. Absolutely not. We will not. We've gone through a lot. We will not take that. Look, when you want to do that, you just look at your children and think and imagine how Ghanaian children are going from, Sierra Leone children are going from, and Liberian children are stuck. And we should do the thing the same old way. This thing is not going to work. This thing is not going to work. So we'll keep embarrassing those in power until they do the right thing. They can call any kind of name. They can block us. They do anything they won't do, but we'll keep embarrassing them. The fact that we're embarrassing them, right, is giving them reason to try to do better. And that what you, the citizen, have to realize and appreciate us for. The fact that they know us to be the people that can embarrass them. Me, I can go for them on social media. I come on the radio, I go for them. So that is a constructive embarrassment. And if somebody see that as something to bring police people to my house or to my working place, that's their business. But we're not going to be afraid to do it once we're briefing in and out. So we'll have the fast check report. So when we get to the point where we'll be reading the statement on the stuff, on the president's SONA, then we'll do the fast check at 9 o'clock. So quickly, time is fast spent. Let me go straight to 72nd and bring you up to speed with some of what we have from 72nd. It's important. Our people are going through a lot. So property owners in Pinsville, particularly 72nd area, are taking have taken their fight to the Supreme Court of Liberia, according to report. And the claim is that the defense ministry is unlawfully blocking access to their homes and businesses. The defense ministry is unlawfully, according to these families, and of course, people in the 72nd area, they're unlawfully. The defense ministry through the armed forces of Liberia, the AFL guys, they've gone, they pulled barbed wires from their homes, and they can allow them to enter, and some of them have to be sneaking to go and grab one or two shirt and trousers and stuff and blah blah blah. They have to go hang and sleep with friends, they and their children, and all of those things. They say no, this is a country of law, so they're taking flight to the Supreme Court on claim that look. Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, the AFL, we are poor, we are powerless. The AFL is unlawfully taking action to deny us our rights. So we want you to come in. We want you to come in and do what? And issue a moratorium, a stay order. Right? The petitioner who have had valid deeds, a lot of them, and licenses for decades, say military personnel show up on January 17, 2026 and barricaded their properties without notice or a court order. Without any court order, without any notice, they just saw army people in trucks or pickups, and then they moved there with gun and material, and then they started barricading their whole property. Absolutely bewildered. And they're like, what is going on here? What did we do? What informed this action? What is I mean, how? From the blue, we just see and people are just barricading the place. So, I mean, what is going on here? And they're like, okay, since this is a country of law, let's go to the court. Right? That's what the president said. So they decided to go to court without any court notice. So they put the AFL doing that, and they're like, but how come now? AFL not supposed to be mixing with us and no notice, no information on what they want to do, blah blah blah. They just kind of pull fence around the play and say in 2 weeks time you're gonna move from here. How does that happen? The owners are asking the court to stop further action. The petitioner are asking the court, the Supreme Court of Liberia, to say, please tell the AFL, we know they're very powerful, we know they get gone, we get gone, nothing. We are ordinary people, we've been here, we're living here, things hard, times are hard, tough, but we're managing, we're not causing trouble, we're here. Please tell them to stop the other thing, what they're doing. Tell them to stop any further action and remove the barricade and restore access. They are arguing the military's adjacent land is clearly marked and separate from their properties. They're saying they barricade your camp here and saying we will not enter our homes and stuff. If that for your property, Bene, right? No, they mark here. Your cornerstone here. Your cornerstone ain't reach to our own. The mark is there, everything there. So when you won't come for your property, go for your property. But the way you can now, we adjacent and you deny, or you say we will not enter our home. No, we're going to the court. I tell me a little bit Martinez, and about know what going. So now the question becomes, will the Supreme Court adhere and of course give justice to these distressing families? And I believe yes, they should. Why not? That's what the court is meant for. To come in at a time where people are denied, people are oppressed, or suppressed, and then the court come in and set the record straight, and this is it. And it doesn't matter who's involved. That's what it should be, right? That's how it is supposed to be. And we're giving it out to the court to do that. So we expect, because the army is preparing to evict the people, to remove them and put them out. So, and they have gone to the court. So the court must intervene now and be able to hear the matters, hear the parties out. So, Mr. Defense Ministry or Mrs. Defense Minister, Geraldine Doe, right? Geraldine George, please come forward. Honorable Minister here. Representation from the adjacent properties in 72nd, you please come forward. So, this is the case. This is the concern. So, Madam Minister, why y'all won't take, the people say all the players won't take, for y'all to get land. So why? What is your legitimate claim to this place? On what basis? You present your case. You tell the people why. Oh, national security, national security. Okay, so is the property yours? Do you have any evidence to prove that the property for y'all? If the AFL has a deed, they will present their deed. And I have credible information from within that the AFL does not have a deed. They do not have a deed. But that anyway, it's possible maybe somebody hiding a deed somewhere so they will find it. But it seems like they don't have a deed. They just go in. That's how they just put in the whole place in fence. But when they go in from the panel, then they will have those conversations. But this is how a democratic environment is supposed to operate. So the AFL can stand down a little bit since the people have gone to the court. Respect the court process. Respect civil procedure. And let this thing be laid to rest. And then the other people, why y'all say the AFL might not take the place? Why y'all saying the AFL might not take this place? What claim y'all get? Government want to play, y'all say government might not take it. Why y'all think government shouldn't take it? Oh, Honorable Judge, Your Honor, this is our paper. In 1970, we buy the player. Let our people here. The time we buy it, say President Doe, or not even President that time. President Doe, not even come. The same family President Doe buy, they place it in front. That some of the same family before President Doe came, that time we buy our property. Let the transmitter D here. Let the person who buy it something from, we see everything, look at the number, do the verification. Oh, okay, if it is authentic, okay. So AFL that the people did here. They're looking authentic, and this thing here is happening. So you can't many people here. Their neighbor, you were there, until the war broke out, and then unfortunately you left your barrier. It has been there. Other people went and illegally occupy your barrier premises. Those ones are there. That's a whole different conversation. But now the conversation is about the adjacent property. So, Madam Minister, they think the law says if you want to do the 1 year now, then that means you have to provide compensation for the people. I'm just saying, but the judge or whoever will have to say what the law say in that instance. What the private ownership is established by law, but the state wants the land, right? Then the judge will have to tell what the procedure there is under the law. And the AFL will have to follow that. The AFL with the government will have to follow that because that is the law. An attempt to ignore that in spite of the legitimate legal ownership and right to the properties, then that means the AFL is presenting a whole different picture of what we know the AFL to be. And I'm not sure that is going to happen under the leadership of Madam George as Defense Minister of the Republic of Liberia. I'm not sure that's what she want to do. I'm not sure that's what she want to have on her record. Nor the Chief of Staff, Foley. I'm not sure that's what they want to do. We have some very decent friends there, and that's all. And because it is the AFL, that's why we're having a conversation apolitically. It has to be about the issues. So what we are doing is a plea to an extent that look, AFL will understand the army needs it, and of course the president have said, "Oh, let's go." But I want to also believe the president did not say you to go and take all the private people land there. And if the AFL deem it appropriate to have these lands, then the AFL must be prepared to follow what the procedure, what the law says in acquiring private properties. It's important. We are running a country of law. So anything on the contrary represents a whole different picture of what the AFL is and what their motives are. And that is going to be counterproductive to the welfare and, of course, the interest of the citizen. I listened to a lady who claimed that she has a $500,000 investment in the area there, and that's also being barricaded. That will be destroyed. So you're telling the piece of land that property is on. I think she runs a hotel or some kind of recreational stuff, right? You're telling me that property will be destroyed without considering, any kind of legal remedy and all of that, simply because the AFL wants in. And that's the logic of some of our friends. And that's what we are changing this country from those mindset, from those way of thinking and seeing everything like, no, we have to have constructive, civilized conversation of how we are moving this country forward. That's what that has to happen in Liberia, right? So you go and discover a Liberian lady, right? Investment of $500,000 for years that she's been operating with 60 other Liberians employed, right? With no conversation with her, simply because it is the army and you have gone and you deploy people, you barricade the place, you carry bulldozers, you break the structures down, and this woman is taken down to square zero. Is that what the country is meant for? Is that the image of the government? Is that what the government wants to communicate? And so we are saying, I'm not sure this is what the government wants to communicate. I'm not sure this is what the army wants to communicate. So we are saying, look, Madam Minister, you need to go sit down on the table with the people. Yes, the army has property there, but adjacent property owners are saying, you're trying to lay claim to theirs. You're denying them their constitutional right to freedom of movement, to shelter, to access, and blah, blah, blah. You need to sit down with them. If the army believes that she cannot, in this age and time, right, have the army in close proximity to private residence or what have you, that is within the military discretion of the army to make decisions on. And if that is the conclusion, it has to be done within the perimeters of our laws. It cannot be done outside because, of course, the reason we restructure the army is that the army will operate responsibly and democratically. That is important to underscore. Anything outside of that, then it is a misrepresentation. It's going to be terrible. And we don't want to believe the way Gregory is running the police that's the way, the high command of the army wants to run the police. They're very well-trained professionals, and we respect them for that. Respect them for that. And so in this case, look, our people are crying. So not because the guys win Hotel Africa. So the army has to distinguish. We've always known the army to distinguish themselves from the rest of the other people. No. The army is not into it. Does not follow that pattern. So to our people in 72nd, hold your peace. We are watching, we are talking, we are following. And you did the honorable thing by engaging the court. And I want to commend the residents, the property owners in the 72nd area for not trying to create a scene of, resistance or, protest and agitation. The fact that you're able to exercise that emotional restraint, that you are being unlawfully denied, but yet still, you still maintain your calm for weeks now, for over a week now, since the 17th. And you decided this is landmark and this is precedent. You decided to pursue the matter directly through the court process. And that's what the likes of Crime Stopper Liberia and other and Freedom FM, this is what we've always promoted. We've always told you, do not pursue alternative form of justice. Always use what the court system. So the people listening to us, they're listening to Crime Stopper, right? Because if the people are going to say, oh, everyone can want to start doing something, blah, 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 and then things go haywire, somebody will get injured, somebody may likely get killed, somebody will get affected, property will get damaged, the people maintain everything. So now you see how the conversation going, constructive, civil, and civilized. So we are pleading, we are hearing that, the army people will go, but I won't give credence to the one because I know there are very decent people there. I know Geraldine George will not want her legacy to be remembered for a forceful and martial law kind of operation where you just jump in the play. I'm not sure that's the kind of a defense minister she want to be remembered as, because after that ministry she has to live for life. She has to live with the people. She has to live with the country. You see what some people doing the Taylor regime, doing the Doe regime, some of them can't show their face. Even their children, and they call their name somewhere they can, because the way people handle leadership, the way people handle power. So power is a delicate responsibility when you have it. You don't have to forget that you live in the community, you live in the environment, that you're having children within the society, and that your legacy has to be something that they will take pride in. Always remember, sometimes our public officials can forget it, and when they leave power to invisible the shame, they even know, because yourself know how you live in public office. But when you follow the law in public office, when you leave from there, you can be hero. You can open your arm, you pass around, you talk to anybody, you visible, you go. As soon as you go to somebody over and say, oh, the receptionist announced you say, oh, yeah. What? That's an honorable service woman, an honorable service man. That's how you want to be. So you leave all the parties and things. You start running the country in that kind of way. You run the country correct. I see we can kind of sit and give free advices to the people. But folks, what's your thought, fellow Liberians? We want to open the phone lines and hear from you. What do you think should happen? I know others are having different views. Say, oh, that the army property, the army wanted, the army go take it. But it has to be established that it is the army property, right? It has to be established, and it also has to be established that the private people there is the property for them. And when we've seen some these copies, and of course, I have a family property there. And my grandfather bought that place way in the 70s. And it's also barricaded. So I am a family victim. But what we are saying, Madam Minister, let's review. Y'all check the deeds. You'll see our property there. But we are not speaking because it's ours. We're saying let the right thing be done. And if it happens that our deed cannot be validated, like the private deeds cannot be validated, and actually former president do acquire the entire vicinity, then we'll come to the human conversation. Because mind you now, government is not instituted to ferment suffering on the people, no matter what. But just as the conversations are held at different stages, at the stage where, for example, now those people who are actually occupying, army property, like in the building, in the structure. Do you think the government, the army should just chunk them outside like that? No, we can join the army to plead with the government, right? To make something available and give time to these people. We now will be the one joining the army. The army have a claim. The army is doing well. As a president, you need to look at the army. The army wants to do this. As a president, you have to consider. The finance minister, the president say you must do something, you doing it, then we will join the army now and start saying you got to do something for the army. The army that our friend, aside from the other army men that got missing, since that time we see the army men, the army ain't providing an answer to offer that one, but we're still waiting. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. Let's hear you, whether you are a victim or somebody connected to the 72nd issue. Have some information about it. I know there have been several times, there have been several efforts, several attempts, but it's important that we're having this conversation this time in this form and manner. The approach, denying people access to their own property, and they know that they have rights to it and all of that simply because we're army people or these pictures, these images. Hello, good morning.
How are you, my son? This is Pat Ennis.
Pat Ennis, I'm okay.
Yeah, calling from right here community. I want to make some clarities on that 72nd Barry business.
Go ahead.
When I was very small, small age, I used to bag a straw bag, white bag.
Mm-hmm.
The factory people used to let it and to sell it all to Banjo, Popopi, to where funding people were situated.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Basel woman in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
She had a land to that 72nd coming up on the main junction there.
Okay.
The people have been living there when the army people had their place at the back there.
Okay.
Okay. Government has a domain over land.
Mm-hmm.
If they want the people from view, the government will pay for it. Not because you get gone. The people they're living there. Even people born there before.
But even under the eminent domain, Pap, you have to compensate the people. You can't. There's an eminent domain. You move the people.
But because you get gone, it's the same thing they did to offender. They want to destroy all the people property, and that person we was trying to pay the money, and they use all kind of propaganda against President Weah, and all that people they left undone.
No, President Weah pays some money, but the defender own. Let me get it correct. The defender own what's in the army.
People had a property before Joe became president. Anybody, the older person will tell you, hey.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah. So at least thank you very much, sir. Let's hear another person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu Sherry.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Abu, this is the voice of Sabu Rasta. I joined the show this morning from 0.4 to be exact with Abu in Zimbabwe. Abu, let me appreciate you for your brilliant work that you always do for Willie Labyrinth. Abu, your work that you do for us, Abu, we don't get money to pay. You wouldn't go when we worry. But I'm bringing my living corner and listening to you. When you talk about your fact check, all the fact check, but the brother speech, and some of it, Abu, I'm going to call this morning to let you know that your fact check should not waste that time. Because for some of us, Abu, we knew that President Walker, we fact check President Walker loses. And we knew that nothing would come out because you don't have leadership ability. Look, Abu, I see you coming here. When you got government where Abu Labiro is a founding member when it comes to the Morning Rse. The Morning Rse was established in 1973. But today, only 48 years, how many years, president, to come and tell us the Morning Rse very constructive project.
No, all that other discussion finished and the president finally say that the government get it. That government get it. You not take it from all manner of
Abu, I'm telling you that this president from the initial stage of the president came to power with lies. So lies. The president will continue to lie. Abu, where in the world, the president create 70,000 jobs? What is 70,000 jobs?
No, we'll come to that one. Thank you very much, Sabu Rasa. Let's talk about our people in 72nd. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Good morning, many listeners. Yeah, this is the voice of the Kumabo chairman. I'm T1P Wali. I join you from Tokyo to Shufo. Abu, it was so regrettable when we saw that scene on the 7th of this month when the army had to move into that place. Abu, I feel like drive you all fast, they kind of thing. law. The army should be in the barrack. When there is something concerning the army, I show the army got lawyers. The rules should have been followed. Police who are here, riot police will do whatever when it comes to riot. If there are any other thing, police will take the army land and turn it over because they're not the government, they're not military government. How come the military leave the barrack without, the proper mechanism put in place? We know that the Constitution provides the president will order the officer for some particular purpose. But I don't think it's as dirty as going in a land case where you have army armed to the teeth going to barricade people's land. So this government is a surveillance government. There's a culture of law. Even whatever happens, they go to court and then land is for them. Those are people that are coming that they occupy that place. They will even deserve something called spot on right. So you don't just do things and just do things. That kind of
and that's what we're saying. But it seems the army is not interested in that approach. That's why we're asking them to please follow the right procedure.
Exactly. Because the country are then showing like a lawless country. So everybody go lawless place.
Thank you very much. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling you tomorrow. I'm calling from
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Abu, thank you very much for the topic and the discussion. I see some of our friends, feeling ASL. Oh, yes, let it move. But as a humanitarian and as a human being, when something bad is happening to your friend, don't just get it out for because of politics.
I agree. The man said,
you just get out. Oh, yeah, that's the morning. Sometimes you should put yourself in the situation where that person found herself now.
Sometimes my brother, that unfulfilled people can sound like that. Because if you know what it means to hustle, to look for money and pay your horse and put your children there, then for somebody to break it, you will empathize with the people.
I will shockingly, let me tell you something. It happened to me, I and my wife. We bought a place in Soul Clinic. And then we were not the only person around us. Other people bought land for our guy. And other people started to pay. And my wife and myself, we started our foundation, every year. And then other people paid the complete. Our family came from America and said that the whole place is for them. And then we went there, we were in court for almost a year. From there, the court told the family that some people here they pay. So before you take the case, before you take the land, you compensate them with a little. Or God pay or offset in the middle. So people are saying you don't want no money. The God has sold the land to each and every one of us. At the end of the day, in 6 months, he passed off. No one wasn't killing. So people should not get on. But people, how many years other people made on the second thing that some people like the saying that some people that bought a land in the place and they moved there. So to get 2,000 people, you should get a human heart. At least give them a notice. At least inform them that okay, you know why we are coming in social town.
Yeah.
So like 6 months,
exactly.
3 months.
There were no notice according to the people. They just move on them. No code.
It's bad like that.
Code
warrant. It's bad.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Morning. Yeah, ma'am.
This is Marcy calling from Claratan this morning. Let me say thank you for the topic, Abu.
Okay.
Trust me, the thing I will say about the army moving all night over the people to take their prerogative from them. It is out for Baka. Trust me. It is out. One of the person that they coming, they not tell the people to go for what they say. Barry was there. They tell the people from there. What they tell the people to do so.
Bouacar held then in his pursuit for the presidency were generally unfounded and, unpatriotic and, of course, irrational. And he was just desperate to become president, especially to come to realize that he has zero ideas on running a country effectively and efficiently. And this is the mess we have on our hands. So listen to him on his assessment when the IMF was then reporting about the CDC government and its performance. So this very president made an appearance at ELBC. Now that ELBC opposition figures don't go there, but then he appeared comfortably. Several appearances he made, right? And this was what he said. This was his view as the United Party apologists are passing around and saying, "Oh, IMF now say they want IMF," and we say, "Oh, IMF said it." But when Bouacar was in opposition, this is what he thought. This was his thought about the IMF and the IMF reports, right? So if using Bouacar's yardstick, do not listen to IMF report. Do not listen to IMF data, right? Look at your life. Judge the government's sonar by your life, your living condition, and the condition of your children. Listen to.
You live here just as much as I live here. Are the Liberians seeing what the international seeing? Or the internationals, are they the one living the life?
In another word, you don't respect whatever the opinion or the rating of the International Monetary Fund. This is a fund that you be working with.
Well, they themselves are doing their work and they know what they're doing, so it's up to them. So, I mean, but I know that whatever they say, what's important, more important to me is what the Liberians say about their own economy, about what they're feeling. That's more important to me than what the IMF say. The IMF is a business.
Okay, so the president now said that the IMF is a business. Don't listen to them. It's about what your economic life is. It's about what your economic conditions are, right? Don't listen to Gafon reading IMF numbers to you. They are business, meaning that they can be compromised, right? So the numbers could be compromised, especially when the IMF says something. And now it's something. Now we can even go by the president about what Bouacar said then, right? By what Bouacar said then in his position about the IMF then, okay? Because just very recently, right? Just very recently, the IMF said on account of the growth and what have you, the IMF said that it was in October. The IMF said that the GDP growth in Liberia was 4.6%, and in 2025, that's what the IMF said. And when the president wrote his sonar and put 5.1 inside, yesterday the IMF post statement and they say that 5.1. And then we listen to the president say it shouldn't matter because the IMF is a business. So who are we? The IMF is a business. So the president dealt business with the IMF to come and issue a statement yesterday to corroborate with his lie he told. This man is an embarrassment. It's a complete embarrassment. That's what it is. I know how uncomfortable some of you feel when we're saying the fact about this old man. But that's what he is. That's what he's proven to be. He's worthless. Absolutely useless to the cause of this country. And you see it every day. He feeds on lies and deception and propaganda. And you think that's enough to run a whole country of about 6 million people, right? Whole country. And you think everybody's supposed to be dummy and be sitting and listening to one old man who's already, I don't know, just this is it. Anyway, we try to hold ourselves, but then sometimes the very old men get us to get tempted. But anyway, we'll enter 2027. I think ball bounce to a change. So that is that. So let's leave from there and go to the fast checker. And the fast checkers, so the UP apologists, please listen. Your president go speak. Listen to it is about I think 7 minutes or so, right? Let's listen. Please give your attentive ear. Fast checking two of the major claims made in the president's sonar about rural network. So when we've been telling you, say the president been lying, saying invading rural in the country, that lie, no rule. Even yourself, you can see no rule, right? Chicken so far rule right here, you know able to face it. But yes, then the man go say you now do about 20% of labor rule problem in our solve it. And then we're not seeing the rule. So we push a fast checker. Say you gotta do something, you gotta fast checker on account or listen to the claim. And the 700, the 70,000 job. Oh God. Let me play these, and of course I will go to the read, right? This.
Good day and welcome to the Fact segment. As always, this segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. During his State of the Nation address on Monday, President Joseph Boakai claimed that his administration has created more than 70,000 short and medium-term jobs and increased the proportion of paved roads in Liberia from under 12% to at least 20%.
So he increased the number of paved road from under 12%. So that means early and we are the road and the pave in the country was less than 12% of Liberia total road network. They only pave less than 12%. So Boakai, he said in 2 years time, he not take that number all the way to 20%. Allah won't be sure whether where play where the president the president to 20%. Look at the kind of bold-faced lie, disgraceful lie. Whole president. Listen, and somebody said you shouldn't call it a lie. Listen.
President made this claim while highlighting what he described as progress achieved by his government over the past 2 years. To verify the claim of 70,000 jobs created, we reviewed the websites and publications of key government ministries and agencies responsible for employment and labor statistics.
Okay.
However, we found no publicly available data to substantiate the president's claim.
Okay, let's hold it. The first thing I say, to substantiate that 20% of payroll in 2 years, taking the number of 20% for Liberia, they say we have to go check. No, that one not the payroll, that what government agency what get the number on. I'm gonna put now where in the government. I'm gonna put now get a job in the country. I'm gonna put working blah blah blah. So we have to go there. So we go there. We see zero. So then the question becomes where the paper get that is 70,000 people from 70,000 goals. The paper you pull inside the speed. Is it we not create jobs 70,000 right? But this is serious because at the level of the presidency in the country. You cannot be telling these kinds of lies that the kids. I mean, this is immoral. This is an immoral attitude on the part of the president.
On social media, some government officials have circulated what they described as job creation figures.
So when the president finished presenting that immoral, misrepresentation, right, and inaccuracy. So government officials now, you know them, bootlickers, sycophants. So they had to go there and say, "Oh yeah, that's true." The proof, they try to jump in places, taking people a number. But even in that, listen to the fast checker.
Initiative frequently cited by the UB officials is the World Bank supported 1,000 of the 70,000 jobs.
So Cornelia Kratokwa, Mo Ali, and other people, they went to take the real last project. They say that 70,000 jobs. What the probably talk about the real last project alone. That World Bank project though, say the real last project alone employ 15,000, and 15,000 short-term people. That's what they say. But listen to what the fast checker found.
That shows that under Component 2, labor-intensive public works, the project provided approximately 10,000 short-term.
So even in the officials' attempt to help their president, they lie, right? Even in the officials' attempt to help their president, they lie. The first check I say, when we go check the very World Bank release project that they're trying to hang on, that release project we check inside, that one that World Bank's on it, but that only 10,000 and change job the people provided. But the government official they say that 15,000 because they won't force it some kind of way to get the president, isn't it? Eh? How you fix law with law? Go lie on World Bank people. Then when World Bank people issue statement and say no, you're lying on release, but the boy won't get in your politics. Y'all go steal the ball, Sonny. That's a whole World Bank thing happening all across the world. That the first time any government across the world to look at release and realize and project and Sonny and say that government provide that one. But we agreed. Lazy government, anything that we agreed. Very lazy government. So we agree, we give it on that. But yes, still, they misrepresented the data. They misrepresented the fact because the intent is clear to deceive the Liberian people and keep them just, there. Keep them right there with disinformation and misinformation.
Jobs. Based on our findings, we conclude that President Bwaka's claim of creating more than 70,000 jobs remains unproven.
Unproven. Let's hold it right there, right? So the conclusion, fellow Liberians, the general conclusion on the president's claim of creating 70,000 jobs has been validated, as we have said. It is an unproven thing. It can be found anywhere. There is no public document. There is no source document. There is nothing anywhere. There is no survey report. Absolutely, it is a blatant lie. Liberians are suffering. The government has failed on creating jobs. The government has lowered her standard to a point where she's even talking about, informal jobs. Yes, still, they can't find data to authenticate the claims of 70,000 jobs. This is a colossal failure. That's what we are talking. 2 years in power. You say you provide 70,000 jobs. You say, okay,